Hi. This is for this week's integrative assignment. I'm also going to try and combine the pulse reading exercise with it. But primarily, what I'm going to focus on this week is explaining, as in reply to the integrative assignment questions. I'm going to talk a little bit about the subdivisions of the three doshas, and then just venture into my own pulse and see if something like that comes up. So the subdivisions, so three doshas have their own qualities, their own jobs. I like to see them as jobs because I think they're very important. So they should have a job is very important for us. So as we said, Vata organizes movement, transportation, air, space. Pitta is more about metabolizing, transforming, like fire. Kapha is structure, bones, earth, the earth element, which I'm lacking of, according to astrology. So these are the main functions, and then within them, there are some tiny little expressions of the same function that are felt in four different areas of the areas that surround their fingernail. And so they may be on the right hand side. So there's like one portion is there, one portion is there, one portion is there, one portion is there, and then there's one that covers the whole fingernail. These subdoshas are little tasks. It's like you have a big job and then you break it down to, okay, let's see how do I perform this job? And where are the imbalances? How can we balance this, or where do we need to put our attention on? So these are like specific tasks in essence of the three doshas, and by looking at them we can analyze. I don't like the word analyze, but it actually comes across as analyzing what's out of balance in a person's life, what's in balance. Is there an area that needs a little bit more attention? So let's go into, for instance, Vata, my favorite. Although people say I have no Vata, nothing, zero Vata, I'm telling you that my mind is like a Gemini mind, air, Vata, space, up until pandemic hit. Then I got into earth and fire. But when I lived in London and all that, I think I was more Vata. I was more of a Vata kind of person with its imbalances, of course. So Vata shows itself on the index finger. And so under the index finger, we have these four locations that will allow us to identify the subdoshas, being the first prana, second udana, third samana, fourth apana, and then the fifth one that goes across the fingernail, viana. So as I'm trying to read my pulse right now, I'm expecting the Vata. It's not going to happen. It actually is happening. So Vata, qualities under the subdoshas. So I don't know if we should do it without paying attention to the other two fingers, but as a professor was showing us, he kind of lifted the other two fingers up, and so we could just keep attention. No, keep a feel to the Vata, and so the main thing. So the way we identify the subdoshas is by putting an extra little pressure to the pulse reading. So we go more into a deep pulse kind of activity, kind of feel, which is actually the only one that I feel in myself. Although today the superficial pulse was pulsing, like it's pulsing, Pitta and Vata. So if I go right into it, I feel nothing. It's like when you go to the doctor and your heart starts beating again. Before it was keeping beats. Now it's the other way around. So before it was pumping and now it's not pumping anymore. I'm gonna try with pitta. No, they're not pumping. So I think I'm not. I have an information on this arm. So I'm assuming that's probably what it is. So anyway, it was so I'm just gonna make it a little bit more improvised. The way it was before was more on the prana. So they were very balanced, I have to say. Funny enough, they were balanced. So prana was there, totally there, because I'm also using my intellect a lot. So if you look, prana governs life force, it governs the head, and vata dosha, subdoshas are explaining how things move across the body. So we're like, okay, prana, life force, how does that manifest itself? Is life moving? Are we being able to express ourselves? So that's under the Udana subdosha. That's about speech, about memory. Am I retaining the information? Is the information flowing in within myself? And am I able to digest the information that I'm receiving? Is the digestion flowing? Is the digestion moving? That's samana. Apana, and I want to make a comment here. I did feel an imbalance there at some point, but I was like putting pressure, extra pressure, not to feel the imbalance. I was like, oh, it's totally balanced. It wasn't. I did have an issue with urine, like a urine infection or something, and it doesn't show up anymore, and I cleared that. So, yeah, this is amazing. I always question this information. I'm being honest. I always question what we learn because I always feel like we have to go into something very, very important, things that are too important to be able to tell from a finger, and but looking back, they do make sense. But the main reason why I'd question them is that I don't want to self-diagnose myself. I have the tendency to say, oh my God, I'm dying of whatever. And then it turns out, it's just a urine infection or whatever, or whatever my body is feeling, whatever my body is going through my body. So that's more on the vata side. And then Viana governs the general movement of the body. And I do remember this was kind of very alive. Because I'm very enthusiastic right now. I actually am, although it's a strange time, but I am. So, as in regards to pitta gunas under, so we have alochak pitta, so pitta is transforming. So pitta subdoshas are situated in different parts of the body. We have the first, which is relate pachaka pitta, which is the duodenum, digestion, which is the main job of pitta, is digesting food, metabolizing. I have an issue with that right now. Again, I always have an issue with that. Then we have Ranjaka Pitta, which governs the liver. And then we have Sadhaka Pitta, which is situated in the heart and is basically saying, is this transformation that you're going through leading to achievement, to fulfillment? Can you see? And then we move on to Alochak Pitta. Can you see the bigger picture? Can you accept in a reality like the vision, the inner vision with the outer vision? Do they match, or is there some imbalances there? And ultimately the fifth one, which goes across like a hat, is to do with the skin. So general shades of color of the skin. This is what I wrote down. And I do have noticed within myself this quality being a bit upside down, and I got lots of red skin right now, and I do have that information in the wrist for some sort of pulling, whatever I did. Too much pulse reading. Anyway, so that's it. That's pretty much the story about subdoshas and doshas. and then the relationship between each other, the relationship to us. I believe, as I said before, I believe that at this point in the course, it is very wise for us not to take this very, for me at least. I don't want to speak for the others, but I don't want to take these things very seriously, because as I said, I have the tendency to go like, oh, no, my vata, pitta, everything is out of balance, oh my goodness. And then I call all the possible doctors. I try, I even looked for marma therapy yesterday, and in Detroit, of course, there's nothing. After watching, it's like I really want to learn. I want to see where am I at, what's going on. But it becomes sort of an obsession. So until I know a little bit better, I'm forcing myself not to take it too seriously. Also because we don't know that much at this point, we just don't know that much. This is what I feel. So I hope you appreciated my words and the way I described these the roles of doshas and subdoshas, these terminologies, these topics. They're quite important to start with. So I hope you're well, and see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.